Hello, thank you for tuning into this section of readings. This is on YouTube channel James13 Wicca. I am currently doing in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. If you're near there and you want more details, shoot me an email, I'll tell you about it. Um, I'm going to put the information like the decks and stuff like that below. Other than that, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com if you're interested in the donation information that's below. And let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? This one card flew out of the deck when I was shuffling, and I'm just kind of, I keep eyeing it, and I'm just like, I kind of have that attitude of like, who invited you, dude? Who invited you? Capricorn should be here, yes, but there's this energy that's like pushing over to the side here. Yeah, well, you'll shut that down. Okay, good. That's what I was wondering, like, where does this go? You'll shut that down. But, wait, all right. So the energy that's going to come in from the side is very ineffective, by the way. So it's almost like whatever this is, at some point, someone's going to try to change something, but it's not. It has no power on its own. It only has power if you give it power. So keep that in mind as we go ahead. Where are we starting from here? Okay. What are we starting from? That's not that bad. It could throw things off, though, if we're not careful. So I feel like that's why we're addressing it in the beginning, because later on, because of the way it, excuse me, the way it comes in, it could throw things off, and it doesn't have to. So I'm trying to like stabilize this. There's certain things that you accept and you don't. That's not news. Whoever this person is coming in later, they have an effect on you that gets you to rethink things. So I've known other Capricorns throughout my life, obviously. One of the ones that I can think of, he was very like this. But when it came to his kids, he would make allowances, which makes sense because kids, But as they got older, that pattern kept going, and that's where problems started to happen. So it might be somebody who like you make extra allowances for, and maybe many times it makes sense. This might be one of the times though where it's like, wait a minute, let me triple think this. Is this one of the times where this actually should happen? Or is this one of those times where I should be like, you know what? No, not this time. This time isn't dire need. It's kind of like when they need to be safe, or if they need food, or they need shelter. Okay, that makes sense. We'll make this quick change. But it's kind of like, no, they just want to. Wait a minute. Are they just doing this because they just want to see if I'll do it? If that's what's going on, maybe we won't do that this time. Somebody has a hold of your heartstrings. I keep feeling that too. Capricorn, I feel like feels very deeply and has really strong bonds with certain people. And there's certain people who can actually get you to do things differently than you normally would for good reason. There's always a reason for it. If Capricorn does that, there's always a deep reason for it, in my opinion. From what I know, yeah, there's a lot of Capricorns in my family. Because you're putting something forward. This is before this change comes in, before this derailment tries to come in. You already have an idea about what you want. Whatever it is you're doing, the Capricorns I know, there's always been a plan. Other people may think it's coming out of nowhere, but the Capricorns I know, even though people think it's coming out of nowhere, you knew what you were doing, you knew where you were going, you had it already set. You knew what you wanted, you made the preparations, you know where you're going. So it's kind of like, maybe on Saturday you're like, hey, let's go to this restaurant for dinner. You may have been thinking about it all week. You maybe just weren't sharing that with other people for this reason or that reason. Maybe you said, hey, let's get together Saturday, but you weren't telling them what you were thinking. And then when you get together, like, okay, let's go to this restaurant. They didn't see it coming, but you're like, yeah, I've been thinking about it all week. This is what I wanted to do. just to make it easy, whatever this is, you knew what you were doing. Now, is there some pushback with this? I don't feel like I'm worried about it that much, but yes. I feel like people are going a different direction. You thought for sure this would go the way you thought, and it just didn't quite go that way. People are like, no, I don't want to do that. Let's get together at so-and-so's house and have dinner there instead, just for argument's sake. I feel like, okay, that's not what I wanted to happen. I thought this would go a lot easier, but I feel like at this point it's still not bad. It's still kind of like, all right, I feel like I'm stepping back going, I was really looking forward to that, but the way I brought it forward, and okay, that's fine. I feel like whatever it is, I have conflict, but I'm like, you know what, that's okay. The way it came forward, the way this kind of played out, okay, this is fine. I am conflicted about it. I'd rather do what I want to do, but I'm like, all right, yeah, we could do that. We can do that because of the way I brought it forward. I also think Capricorn is very honest with themselves. I wasn't really communicating that. I didn't really make sure everybody else was on the other page, the same page. All right, for this time, I'm really kind of disappointed, but all right. But I feel like I'm also kind of like, but I'm still planning on it. At some point, I do want to do that. So I feel like at this point, I'm like, all right, we're not going to go there, but I do want to go in the next couple weeks. I'm thinking, all right, I'll keep that in mind. I'd like to go with all you guys to this restaurant somewhere in the next couple weeks. Maybe we're putting that energy out there. Still, this is not a bad point. I don't think this is a bad point because I feel like some of you may hold that back, but the possibility here is to put that energy out there. In the next couple weeks, I'd like to go to this restaurant. Just put it out there. Like we're making it a very simple analogy. I feel like for a reason, as we keep, because it's an analogy, you know that. But it's just whatever this is. Now, somebody just wants to be contrary to you. Somebody just wants to be contrary. When I got this is the card that flew out. This one right here. The Knight of Wands reversed sometimes will give ideas but not do anything with it. Expect other people to do it for them. That's how I read this one upside down. And it does depend on what else is here. It also has the Six of Swords here. It's kind of like, they might say, oh, I'm going to do this. It's not going to happen. Whatever it is, I feel like they're trying to influence you or other people around you, could be other people around you, to do what they want for them and to have just, they might be just doing something for the contrary. They just want to like throw a monkey wrench into it. They just want to change it. They might be just wanting to make things difficult for you. They realize you want this. They just decided they don't want you to have it just because they're just having that mood. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that's definitely the way that's playing out, but it's a possibility. The thing is, whatever that energy is, it's causing some type of like stagnant energy. It's slowing things down. It seems to be throwing people off. So it's almost like in the next 2 weeks, I wanted to go to this restaurant. And this person's saying, no, I want to go there. And then somebody else is saying, I want to go here. It's causing like things to just not happen. It's weird that the tower is happening and then nothing happens. It's kind of like the tower just falling just enough so you can't get in it and you can't use it. But it's still technically standing, but you can't do anything with it. That's like these two together is kind of like, it's like a condemned building. It's like, it's technically there, but you can't go in it. That's kind of what I keep getting, the two of these together, especially because they're both Major Arcana. But the thing is, the Oracle card is saying, no, this can move forward, but instead of like waiting for other people, because it's like, I feel like I'm trying to create the plan and I'm trying to work with other people, which is a good thing, working with other people, whatever this is. And I feel like I'm trying to work with other people on this, which makes sense. There might be a reason why you're like, all right, I'm trying to be more diplomatic, especially if this situation is a work situation. I feel like you're very realistic in that, like, well, overall, we got to work together and we got to be careful about relationships, blah, 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 blah. You may seem to kind of like, all right, it's just a restaurant, blah, blah, blah. I'll try to work with people. If they don't want to go there, I guess it's not that big a deal. Ironically, it is a big deal. ironically, because I feel like it's drowning down the situation. It's pulling down the energy of the situation. It's not really a positive thing for you or literally anybody else, in my opinion. Even the people who like to just cause trouble, we shouldn't be empowering troublemakers, in my opinion. Another option, another idea. I'm just going to put some dice on this first, just to make sure, because I don't want to be... It's just an idea. You don't have to do anything. I feel like that's obvious. Like, I have to tell you that. You know that. All right. You don't have to overtalk it. There doesn't have to be a conflict or a lot of communication about it. This is how I'm seeing it play out. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings for entertainment purposes only. I'm just seeing it play out, and I can... All right. You want to go to this certain restaurant. How many of you are available on Thursday? Let's say everybody's available on Thursday. I made the reservation for 6. Who wants to go? I'm going. Who wants to go? Everybody will just kind of go along with it. I feel like if I've already committed, like, well, I'm going. If I can get one other person, especially, like, hey, Arnie, you want to go with me? I'm going to make the reservation, and like, if I know that you're going to go, I'm definitely going. Okay, so we're going to the two of us will definitely go. I'm going to put it out to everybody else. Anybody who's free, who wants to come, we're going to go. We'd love to have you all come. Whoever's interested, I've made the reservation. It does seem like it goes well. I feel like it takes stress off the situation, ironically. Just one more roll of the dice. Because I just find it, yeah. It takes the stress off of it. People, and the Ace of Cups shows up under this. Okay. People want to go along with this. People like this idea. Wherever it is, whatever it is you want to do, it's not like nobody else wants to do it. Other people do. But that's whoever's throwing in that monkey wrench, I feel like they're literally a troublemaker. Literally. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt, But in this reading, the way this is feeling, it feels like they're a troublemaker to me. By you going around it and not letting it become an argument, just kind of like, I just made the reservation. Y'all want to come? Great. You don't? Okay, cool. I'm going. Me and Arnie are going. Y'all want to go? It's okay. You want to go? Great. Love to have you there. People want to do this. There's something might come out in this situation. I don't feel conflict. I do feel stress, though. I don't feel conflict, but I do feel stress. So something might happen here where people kind of give their opinion. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if you really want it at the time, but I feel like it's kind of something it's better for you to know. Because I'm getting the way forward here. Didn't we have that card out here? Yeah, that's over here. The way forward is kind of opening up here. Some people might give their opinions about something. And it might be one of those things where I don't really know that I want to know that, but it's kind of better that I do know that. It might be one of those things. I keep seeing the way forward with the Three of Wands, which I don't normally get that, but that's what I'm getting, and maybe because I'm looking at that card, just to be fair. Because it's stressful, but it's opening the door. And I'm getting, like, some truth is coming forward. There might be a conversation. I don't feel like it's a negative conversation. It might be a short conversation. It might be something where some information comes forward, and it's kind of like, all right, let's move on to something else. That you kind of look back at that conversation later and go, all right, maybe I should look into that. Maybe I should think about that. Maybe I should see if that's what's really going on there, blah, 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 blah. Something like that might come forward here. Because if this happens that way, if this plays out that way, you get that extra little information as well, I do feel like it's going to kind of sit in your brain, kind of like, you know what, maybe I should check on that. And what is this one? All right, so all in perfect timing, but I do see this door going on here. People might tell you stuff that originally I feel like I don't like hearing that. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I probably should know that. When that happens, I feel like that's going to start the ball rolling where you're going to like, well, let me look a little closer at this. Let me look at that. How do these two things add up? Where is this going next? Do I need to make changes? Yeah, I probably do need to make changes. All right, what changes do I want to make? It's going to start that process. It does seem like it's a long process, but how long it is, I do feel like is more in your control. If you did want it to go faster, I do feel like you have the ability to make it go faster. If you want it to go slower, it would go slower, but I feel like it's kind of like looking at like driving through a park. Maybe the speed limit is 15, for example. You could probably get away with 20. You could also go through at 5. It depends how you're feeling about it. You know what I mean? So it depends what you feel is right. Because there's a change here that over time, I feel like it's a slow metamorphosis. It's kind of like we need to reform something. We need to look a little deeper at something. And the sooner you're aware of what's actually happening, the more you can kind of like put this where it should be versus where it has been going. And this person who I see here again, I feel like there's a troublemaker energy. I don't know exactly how that adds in overall, but I get it's either, it could be that you're just identifying it for the troublemaker that they are, could be, or it could be like they're actually highlighting something, and even though they're not trying to have a positive effect by what they're doing, it is highlighting something that needs to be highlighted. It could be, just to be fair. Is there anything else I need to say with this? All right. I think we're there. We're going to shut it down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.